All right, Falcons fans, you are tuned into FinCast, brought to you by Scanna Energy, your natural gas provider of the Atlanta Falcons. And, well, I guess there is one tweet that I want to quote from last week that says, the good news about being a Falcons fan is that one day I'll die. All right, so a very disappointing, very, very, very disappointing loss to the Dolphins, 34-10. At home, okay, you know, Groover, you made a point before the mics came on, and I do want to open with this.
Yeah.
We don't hate the Falcons. We are passionate fans, and that is the thing that makes this harder, right?
Yes.
I forgot introductions. I'm Tyler Nelson, to me, as always, the Finn in FinCast, Brian Finneran.
What up?
And Andrew Groover, our producer behind the glass. Mr. Groover, do you want to expound upon that some more?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone from the Atlanta Falcons watches this podcast or listen. I do know they see a lot of the stuff we do. We did have some viral stuff go off this week that was negative towards the Falcons. And sure, we get, I run all our social media accounts. We do get clicks on that stuff for a day or two, but then apathy sets in and people stop caring. Trust me, we are all diehard Falcons fans. We want this team to win. I know we're not the flagship, but we are not actively rooting against the team. I was born and raised a Falcons fans. We're just frustrated when we keep seeing the same thing over and over again. It's not personal. I love that team. There's nothing that I want more than them to turn it around. I know a lot of people that work at that organization. We're rooting for them. It's just, we're just frustrated. We're passionate, but we're not actively rooting against the Falcons.
Yeah, we all have friends in that building, and we're all fans. And I mean, Finn, what do you feel about his point? And I mean, just overall the diagnosis of this franchise right now.
It's just sometimes it's just how it looks on the football field. When you have an uninspired performance, you have a pent up frustration, and it feels terrible. You want them to be so good, and there's glimpses of hope, and they just tease you too many times. Whether you beat the hell out of the Minnesota Vikings and look like you can't be stopped in the run game, 22-6 in the second game of the season, and then you turn right around the next week and lose 30-0 on the road to a Carolina team that is just mid, and it's just frustrating. It hurts. People put their time, effort, money into being a Falcon fan. And when you don't get the return on investment, it just starts to really wear on you as a fan and a person who loves the team. So I think that's where we're at. You had high hopes after you beat the Commanders and the Bills. You go to San Francisco, which is a tough place to play.
It's tough, yeah.
You lose 20-10. And
it wasn't great, but it was a loss.
Right. And you can't really get anything going. And then you got a chance to kind of relax and come back home, and you have another walkthrough Wednesday because you had a Sunday night game in San Fran, and the walkthrough Wednesday turns into a shit show Sunday, and you lose 34-10.
34-10.
And should have been 34-3.
Yeah,
because you had a garbage time touchdown late. So, I mean, it is what it is. And the teams you lose to are not good football teams. As we watched last night, the Miami Dolphins get their heads beat in pretty much 28-6 against the Baltimore Ravens. So you're supposed to make bad teams look bad. You're supposed to give good teams a shot, and none of that's happening, and the frustration is just overflowing.
And so for me, I think that part of it isn't just, as you put it last week, it's okay to lose football games, or, I mean, you understand as a fan, you understand that we're going to lose some football games. It's who we're losing to and how, right? And I think that, I've always heard Chris Dimino say that in baseball, that managers will lose you more games than they'll win you. And I think that that's an element of what we're seeing right now, is that why it's so frustrating is, A, when we win, it's the players on the field, it's the talent on the field that's overcoming the coaching, and B, that it's the mistakes and things that are so easily to correct if only there could be some amount of humility and go, okay, here we need to change that. To that, I want to quote something. Kevin Knight at the Falcoholic said, the NFL has figured out the Falcons offense, and Zac Robinson doesn't appear willing or equipped to make the necessary changes. And that's one of the things when I say that's more frustrating, is because it seems so clearly doable to change something. We're leading the league in pistol formation. We are dead last in the league in play action, right?
Pretty much.
And this is something we were kind of talking about before the mics were on, is it's not just the pistol, it's just not the lack of play action, it's that we are giving away our run or pass before the game, before the snap, with our pre-snap motions, or lack thereof. The other team knows what we're going to do.
Apparently it's become very predictable whether that's Kevin Knight at the Falcoholic or Kurt Warner on ESPN or NFL Network or Dan Orlovsky at ESPN.
Let me give you the Kurt Warner quote real quick. I love this game and breaking down tape, but I'm struggling to watch the ATL offensive tape. Predictable, boring, some plays over and over. Don't like the spacing often. Lots of miscommunication. Just don't really get it. Wow.
So a lot of times guys get angry and mad and say stuff about a team. But when you have analysts and personalities and
Hall of Fame quarterbacks that say stuff like that after they watch the film. Yes.
And maybe they watched 1 or 2 games, and maybe just the most recent game they watched really jumped out at them as far as all the stuff they're talking about. You have to do stuff different. I found a stat today. I was like, I wonder how many snaps Charlie Warner has played. All right. So in my head and on the air, I said I would bet he's played 60% of the snaps for this team so far. I went back and did the math, which we don't do on the air because we're not good at it inside the locker room. So I added up all the percentages he's played. First game was like 44%, then 85%, then 62 and 67. Last week we only played 15 plays, was like 37%. And it came out to 53% of the offensive plays, 246 snaps over the 7 games that we've had. He has 2 targets, 2 balls thrown at him, 1 catch from -5 yards. That's a tight end that's 6'5", 250, big giant athlete that has done nothing this year except fit inside the offensive lineman and go block. And to your point, what you just said, and to Dan Orlovsky and Kurt Warner and Kevin Knight, it's so predictable because you're not using these guys effectively. There's no play action pass because it's hard to do at a pistol. Like play action when Matt Ryan was here and Chris Chandler, and even Michael Vick to a certain extent. You get under center, you take the snap, and you show the ball to the defense, and you go and you pretend to hand it to the running back, then you put it in your own belly, and you roll out to the other way. Or you half roll, or you do something. Matt Ryan had to play every once in a while. He would flip the ball up in the air like he's pitching it, catch it himself, and roll out the other way. There's a lot of different ways to do stuff. But the lack of usage of play action is just as frustrating as I've ever seen in my life. So until that changes, you're going to see a lot of results like we saw against Miami on last Sunday.
And the response from Raheem Morris, the responses we've seen from Zac Robinson in the past only say, no, we're doing the right thing. We just got to keep doing it. And that's not the case.
No.
That's so clearly not what's work. I mean, and again, back to what I said earlier, that seeming when we beat Buffalo, when we have a good game against Minnesota, the Commanders, that is the talent overcoming the play calling.
Maybe you're right. Never really thought of it like that because I don't want. They got a tough job to do to call plays and make sure you anticipate what the defense is going to do, call the right play in the right 2nd down and 10 or 3rd and 2, or you got to time these things up and know the what's the word I'm looking for when you know that. Son of a bitch.
I'm not good at words. That's the time.
No, it's when the team does the thing over and over again. Like on 3rd down.
Repetitive?
Yeah. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing?
No, God bless. When you study something and then you learn what it is.
Prepared. No. Knowledge.
I didn't study much, so.
Things in the brain.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
I went to Alabama, dude. I barely went to class.
Somebody in the locker room would have had me by now.
We do this once a week. You do that. Excuse us.
He's a sales guy. I'm a digital guy. What do you expect?
All right. Well, anyway, the point is that we're being too predictable, right? And
yes.
And a prognosticator I heard said something about to the effect of Arthur Smith had a good scheme but wasn't great at play calling. Zac Robinson has neither. Talk to me about the difference between scheme and play calling, because how are those?
I think your scheme in general is like kind of your identity. It's like what you do. The wide zone is our scheme.
Right.
A lot of times, like we had zone for years when I was playing. Coaches like Alex Gibbs was our offensive line coach and run game guy. It wasn't necessarily always wide zone. The running back would have an angle, and then once you got the ball in your gut, and you saw the very first creaser, you had to put your foot in the ground and take that shot. Right. And that's what this is, wide zone. That's our identity. That's our scheme. And that's what everything else kind of runs off. Pistol, wide zone would be our scheme, I guess. Okay. Play calling is what you do out of that scheme.
Right.
So how often do you?
There's the theme, and then there's the metrics under it.
Yeah. And there has to be better play calling outside of that scheme and inside of the scheme, really. You just have to do more things. You can be more creative. I heard creativity and lack thereof has been some guys have talked about as well. So it's frustrating. It sucks to watch sometime, but the last thing I do is, in my life, have I ever not pulled for this football team or rooted for them by any stretch. We're just critical, frustrated fans.
Because we care. Do you want to give me your thoughts on Rich McKay's sit-down interview with Nick and Chris this week? So for those of you who didn't catch it, Rich McKay in person, we were 680 The Fan was broadcasting up at Lake Point Sports for an event, and Rich McKay was there. Arthur Blank was being given an award, and Rich McKay actually sat down with Nick Cellini and Chris Dimino, and it was very interesting, I thought worth listening to. If you want to go back and listen to it on the 680 The Fan app, or just on Spotify, it's there. But yeah,
they were handing out Lake Point Award for youth sports and all the different things that Arthur Blank's done for youth sports in our area, and I was a part of it years ago at one of the first girls high school flag football situations, and was a big part of that. So what that's grown into is unbelievable. So he's done a ridiculous job. And again,
to the point of positivity, I want to say that I heard again someone about it on Instagram say Arthur Blank is about as good a person as a billionaire gets.
I heard that too,
and I think that's very true. Really, it should be worth noting. So now continue with what you were going to say.
I thought Nick and Chris did a nice job pressing Rich McKay on some of the things that the fans have questioned, and people around the Falcons organization have wondered about for a long time. I was uncomfortable during the thing. It's not really my deal. I don't really like getting in somebody's face, and I thought they've been super harsh on the Falcons organization, Nick and Chris, but Chris mainly has really been harsh to the point where I would question whether he wants this team to win or is really pulling for him. So in that regard, I don't like it. In the other regard, as far as standing on your ground and asking the tough questions, I thought they did a good job. I think Rich, I've never seen Rich McKay lose an interview. Probably as close as he's come, just because he skirted some answers, and I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him at all. But he's a super smart kind of interview guy where he knows what to say. He's got the gift of gab, and he's very smart, and he's got a sense of humor, and so it was good. I thought they did a fine job.
Yeah, I agree. Again, respect to them for going hard, but not too hard, and then points to Rich McKay for actually sitting down and facing it in what's probably the toughest week so far in a long time to do that.
Right.
But let's now talk about the injuries. Obviously, we saw, I'm going to say Kurt Warner, Kirk Cousins play this week, and he is so far down the list of reasons I think we lost, but still. And then y'all were talking this week, of course, that he asked to be traded. It's like, yeah, well, after this past performance, nobody's going to trade for you, pal.
No.
But we still have a long injury list.
Trade deadline is Tuesday. I think it still goes like 4 p.m. On Tuesday, November.
Also, you can't blame Kirk Cousins for wanting to start somewhere.
Right.
Shout out to my old friend Tyler Dragon at USA Today who reported that. I used to work with him at the
Nice. Yeah. I saw that and I was like, get the bleep out of here.
It's one of those no shit reports. Like, of course shit, he still wants to.
Exactly.
Also, water wet.
Yeah, he's towards the end of his career, he wants to win. He doesn't want to get back up.
Of course.
I know the money's nice, but, you know.
And so, going back to the injuries, Michael Penix was out, and Drake London popped up out of, that was not something we were expecting. But the key names this week still Michael Penix and Drake London. Kyle Pitts and Tyler Algier were either limited or did not practice. I'm not sure. Zach Harrison?
Limited.
They were limited. Okay, Leonard Floyd and Zach Harrison were limited as well. So do we have any new updates on that? Are we expecting Penix to play? Are we expecting Drake to play?
The expectation is for those guys to play.
Yeah,
listening to Michael Penix talk this week, it sounds like he's day-to-day still, but he'll be ready to go. I probably could have played last week, but he came out and said publicly that he just didn't feel like he could help the team as much as he wanted to if he wasn't. He said 100%, but he'll never be 100% for the rest of the year, so just get yourself to 85 or 90 and go out there and play. I was kind of excited when I heard Kirk Cousins was going to get the go. I thought he'd be ready. I thought he'd feed the guys, and it just did not happen. He missed a in route to Darnell Mooney that was insanely overthrown. It looked like it was on purpose. It wasn't. He had a go route. He thought he had a go route to David Sills down the right sideline.
Why is that guy on it?
David Sills runs a 15-yard.
Who was sitting there doing this before the ball was snapped?
I know.
He was the guy Lane Kiffin offered a scholarship in 8th grade.
When he was in 8th grade. So he's a quarterback turned receiver. Had a good year at some tech.
West Virginia.
Yeah. And then now he's our receiver, like our 5th or 6th receiver. But we got guys hurt and banged up, and Ray left because he didn't want to play here anymore. And Mooney is still working on a hammy, and then Drake London comes up with a hip last week. So who the frick knows what's happening? It was not a good situation. So Kirk Cousins didn't have all the weapons at his disposal, but you got to look better than that. And they didn't. They looked like...
I was hoping he would... It was like kind of a showcase game.
I thought so, too.
That's what I was... ahead of the deadline, maybe.
Yeah. So we were all hoping.
Now I have no idea what we're going to do at the deadline. It's not like we have draft picks to move.
Nothing.
We definitely have some holes.
Unless you win this game, you don't do jack.
Yeah.
You got to get back to 4-4 and beat a good Patriots team and go, you know what, we might have something, then go pick somebody up somewhere.
And to the Patriots, the Mike Vrabel-led Patriots, who, by the way, we interviewed... and went with Raheem instead.
We did.
Yes, exactly. And so Drake May, as you pointed out here on the sheet, Gruber, Drake May and Michael Penix in the same draft class. Drake May's had a great season. The Patriots are looking really good for the first time in a long time. And they have not allowed a 50-yard rusher all season.
Defense is legit against the run. Quarterback's playing out of his mind. He's got over 100 passer rating and some other stats for 6 or 7 consecutive weeks. There's like 5 guys or 4 guys in the NFL that have done it. Tom Brady twice. You remember who else it was? I think I have it right here. But it's just one of those things where he's just playing.
You mean in the Patriots organization?
No. In general, dude.
Oh.
I think I have the number here. Hold, please. Hold.
Holding.
Hold. I don't have it. Doesn't matter.
Drake May's a baller. He's plays a little basketball too, like you did.
He's an athlete.
Yeah.
You get athletes in that position, you're going to be successful. So he's played really well. Needless to say, some people call him at the halfway point the MVP of the NFL right now. He's throwing the guys not a lot of people have heard of, and
it's kind of the Patriots way, right? I mean,
a little bit. You're right.
That was always in. I mean, say what you want about Brady or Belichick or that dynasty, but like what always made those teams great was their Tom Brady. With the exception of Randy Moss, like you had
100%.
wide receivers. You didn't have rock star names during that run. You had guys who were wide receivers that Tom Brady made better, that their scheming made better. I mean,
so the one guy that got a couple years ago in a trade or in free agency is Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's their leading receiver with 42 catches on 49 targets.
I didn't realize Stephon Diggs was on that team.
I know. People forget.
It's too busy getting chicks pregnant all the time.
All right.
He just got another one pregnant. The Kiki, Do You Love Me, that Drake song? Yeah, he just got her pregnant.
For real?
Yeah.
Guys
got
putting
Cardi
in some
B
work.
and her. Yeah.
Putting in some serious work. The interesting thing about their numbers, we'll have to go back and look at even the Falcons. 42 catches on 49 targets is about as efficient as you're going to be.
Yeah.
And that's why Drake May has been really good. His receivers are making plays for him. Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, tight end Hunter Henry, and then our boy Matt Collins used to be here are their 3 leading pass catchers.
And so is their scheme more around a pocket passing gunslinger, or what has it run balanced with Boutte, right? Is there running back?
Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson are both... both their running backs right now that have been really good. Drake May's not afraid to run out around either. So he's had 51 carries for 250 yards on the season as well.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Drop back, play action, run it down your throws, a couple of big backs, and see what happens. It's going to be a tough matchup for our Falcons for sure.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic. That said, the defense is the one thing that has kept us in this all year so far. I don't know. I'm kind of with.
We've been really good.
I'm without much hope. So what is the chances? Not just that we're going. What are we going to have to do to win? Because I know obviously the defense. We can rely on the defense to probably have a good game. Do you have any faith that our play schematic is going to change at all? Because if their run defense is this good,
well, they're going to stick with the wide zone. They're going to stick with the pistol. They maybe have a little bit more shotgun offset look as opposed to pistol where the running back's right behind him. You may see him get up under center a little bit more. I think you have to see more play action or you're just beating your head against the wall. I think what Miami did last week to us, they played a 5-man front. They weren't moving and shifting. It eliminated pulling guards and tackles because as we talked to Channing Crowder today, used to play in Miami for the Dolphins and played at Florida with the Gators, I believe.
Yep, sounds right.
And
yes.
He talked about how when you have those 5-down linemen, if you start pulling guys too much, they start opening up gaps, and you start filling those right away. So Miami had a good game plan. They didn't move too much defensively, and they just kind of. And I'll give Zac Robinson credit because he said it this week as well. He's like, Miami was doing a lot of moving and shifting and defensively, and last week they just kind of sat still and let us do our stuff and didn't react to a lot of our movements and shifts and motions, and just played kind of more simple football. And he said he may start seeing more of that teams they play moving forward. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, is that? Do I smell humility?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, awareness. I'm sorry, I don't have any faith in Zac Robinson because you know what? One of those things going back to the pistol and all that is that was big. He's from the Church of McVay, right? Sean McVay.
Sean McVay out there. And
the pistol was big a few years ago when he was there. Do you know what they have done almost none of this year? Excuse me, exactly zero of?
What?
The pistol. The Rams. Zero.
Is that right?
0 shows of the pistol this year. 0.
It's almost like Zach wanted to be his own man and come up with his own scheme, kind of. Other people have done it, but he's really done it a lot.
But and again, the problem is that he's sticking with it when as Kurt Warner, or excuse me, as Kevin Knight said, is the NFL has figured it out. It's like when
you adjust. It's almost like you go 4 weeks and you show a bunch of stuff. The tendencies, that's the word I was looking for earlier. You study tendencies and you learn what teams are going to do, and then based off those
editing and post, we'll plug that in back into
based off those tendencies. You call certain plays versus man versus zone.
Right.
3rd and 3, they blitz 72% of the time. So you better have a blitz beater or built in or something. So the tendencies are huge, and I think the Falcons are not understanding what's exactly coming. And hopefully they can study more and learn that and then hit them when those things are happening.
So talk to me about as just being a player versus obviously someone who hasn't played since middle school. When your coach is someone like Raheem, who stands there, and I'm not even going to talk about the fact he's constantly looking up at the halo board with his mouth open like he's trying to catch raindrops on his tongue, but when your coach isn't someone who comes over and talks to you, isn't like whether he's getting on to you or whether he's hyping you up, is that a negative? Is that a not at all matter? What is that like?
It depends. And again, I'll go back to Channing Crowder today, who we interviewed in the locker room, former NFL and college football player. He said some guys are more fit to be defensive or offensive coordinators or position coaches. And Raheem was apparently a really good defensive coordinator for the Rams.
Right.
They won a Super Bowl with him as a DC.
Right.
That's why I got him 2 years ago as our head coach, because he was a really good defensive coordinator. And he interviewed well, and guys love him, and he's been here before, and everything else that goes into it. But the job of a position coach is more so, I would say, that sideline stuff, changing, talking to guys, motivating guys on the sideline. In game, the coach can do that pre-game and post-game, but it's all about what you do. Like anymore, Andy Reid doesn't necessarily get too into the guys' faces.
Sure.
He lets his other guys do that, but he will chat with people on the sideline, where in the past he would be over there on the bench talking to the player and the quarterback and everything else. So,
I mean, because I think of the opposite. I think of Pete Carroll, right? Who's constantly moving up and down the sideline. And I mean, I don't even talk about his age. Like, in fact, he has more energy than any 13-year-old kid. I don't know, not a lot of 13-year-old kids, but like what I'm saying is, like, he has all this energy. He's up and down the sideline. He's talking to people. He's getting into the ref's face. He's getting into players' faces. And then I see Raheem, like, if people like him and stuff, if he's a big, like when he's a defensive coordinator, and all of a sudden he's just, like this the whole time.
Very ho-hum, not a lot of action, not a lot of emotion on the sideline. I don't know. Listen, it doesn't matter. You got to go win a couple games and turn this thing around. And I don't know what Arthur Blank's plan is, but if you come back from Germany, you go New England, and I imagine you get on a plane right after that and go to Germany for 7 days. Who knows? And if you lose both those games, those are good football teams. One's 7-1, the other one's 6-2.
Right.
And they're really good. If you come back at 3-7, I guess 3-6, you have a couple of cupcakes like us. After that, between Carolina, the Jets, and there's one other team come in there.
Yeah, you mean cupcakes like the Dolphins were?
Exactly like the Dolphins. Yeah. And if that's the case, and you come back and it looks like 34-10 or 30-0,
yeah,
it's going to fix itself, unfortunately, and guys are going to have to find new jobs. my
My friend who's in the building, I almost text him on Monday to say, hey, is today a bad day after a game like that? Is it a bad day inside that building? And I didn't even do it because I felt like it might be such a trepidatious thing. I wouldn't even want to like throw an extra needle on top of the pile. But it was so disheartening, and it's been a hard week because of it. Every time you think of the Falcons, I've started to lose hope again. And it's so early in the season to have already done that.
Yeah.
When there's so much talent on this team,
If we just look at this game, I don't know what tells me that they're supposed to win this thing. So I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
Right.
I don't even want to. But I have no idea. They might go and do what they did against the Bills
or the Vikings or
I know. And I have no way to. Who knows? I really don't know.
1 p.m. CBS. Falcons at Patriots. Fun place to play.
Foxborough.
I led off a game up there one time. They lined me up in the backfield. It was probably 2009 or 10. And I was a fullback. I came out of the huddle in a 3-point stance as a fullback, offset fullback, and just ran a quick out. 11-yard gainer, first down.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Let off the game. That was the first play of the game.
Haley hurt or something?
Very first play of the game. No, it was 11 personnel, and you make it look like 11. Then you line up in like a 20-21 personnel because I'm in the fullback. They're not really sure who to cover, and I sneak out of there and kind of like a little deception.
First down, Finneran.
First down, Finn.
All right.
Your only time in the backfield?
What's that?
Was that your only time in the backfield?
No, I've been back there a few times.
Okay.
We used to do 20 personnel, and actually...
Explain that. What do you mean 11 personnel versus 20 personnel, 21 personnel?
So whenever you hear the first number, it's a running back and tight ends.
Tight ends, yeah.
So 21 is two running backs, one tight end, and then everything has to add up to 5. So just by, what do you call it?
Math?
Yeah, just by math. You go 2 plus, you have to do 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5.
Yeah.
So it has to add up to 5. So you know that the last 2 guys are the receiver position.
Right.
So you don't have to say it. So 11 personnel is 1 running back, 1 tight end,
2 and 2.
3 receivers.
Okay.
Real quick, how does one get a Kirkland hat? That thing's
I think you just go to
It's a
Costco and
good
buy
question. I'm going to Costco after this.
What don't they make?
I think they
everything.
Medicine, shoes,
I was there yesterday.
vodka. It's like
Yeah.
they do it all.
Gotta love me some Costco, man. It's just great. Plus a $1.50 hot dog to cap it off with.
this
right?
economy. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go there
I
just
might
for
do
lunch.
that today.
Absolutely.
Or pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do today over there.
It's-
For you Falcons, let's win.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. So on that note, let's all go to Costco. All right. Groover, any last thoughts for you, man?
No, I just hope they turn the season around. I'm kind of curious
Yes.
what they do or don't do at the trade deadline.
Again, it cannot be said enough. We
Storm
are rooting
Norton
for the
coming
Falcons
back
to win. It's
could
just
be good. Storm
Yeah.
Norton coming back could be good. So we'll see.
Is he going to be back this game?
Yeah, he's back.
yeah,
He's
he's
healthy.
back.
He's practicing.
Right tackle.
I don't know if they're going to put him in or not. Is it Elijah Wilkinson has been playing right
That's
tackle?
right tackle so far.
He's been okay. He's
Mixed.
definitely been some moments in there where you wish he had back, but I don't know how much better Storm Norton's going to be coming off an injury.
Well, hopefully fresh.
It's a sweet name though.
It's a pretty great name.
All right.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. All right, Falcons fans, we'll see you next week on FinCast. Go Falcons.
Rise up.